Tomorrow, Circle K wants to help you fill your gas tank for less. The company will offer 30 cents off per gallon between 4 and 7 p.m. tomorrow. Customers can fuel up and get the deal directly at the pump.
Yes, Brittany Michelle, that is right. And how about 40 cents off a gallon of gas? How does that sound? That's what Circle K is offering its customers as travelers gear up and fuel up and get ready to hit the road next week for Christmas week.
This video just into the newsroom within the last 30 minutes. Right now, police are investigating an overnight stabbing on the city's east side. This happened around 2:30 this morning when police were responding to a Circle K gas station on Shadeland Avenue.
Something is not right at Circle K. You've seen the signs, pulled in for gas, maybe grabbed a drink or a snack without thinking twice. But what if that quick stop is hiding something bigger? Behind the bright lights and friendly logo is a side of Circle K most customers never see. Fuel disasters, hidden lawsuits, workers speaking out, and communities fighting to keep them out. This is more than just a convenience store. This is a story of what happens when a company grows fast, hides the cracks, and hopes no one notices. Imagine pulling into your local Circle K, filling up your tank, and then, just a few miles down the road, your car starts sputtering, dashboard lights flash, and suddenly, you're stranded. This nightmare became a reality for several drivers in Avon, Ohio, when a significant fuel mix-up occurred at a Circle K station. On January 19th, 2025, diesel fuel was mistakenly pumped into the underground storage tanks meant for unleaded gasoline and vice versa. This error, known as a cross drop, led to at least 14 customers unknowingly filling their vehicles with the wrong type of fuel. One driver recounted how his Jeep Wagoneer emitted a giant puff of white smoke and stalled shortly. After refueling, a mechanic later confirmed diesel fuel was in his gas tank, resulting in a repair bill of $100, not including towing and rental car costs. Circle K acknowledged the mistake, stating that a third-party carrier was responsible for the delivery error. They shut down the pump, replaced the contaminated fuel, and began processing claims to reimburse affected customers. However, the incident raised concerns about the company's oversight and quality control measures. Drivers rely on fuel stations to provide the correct product, and such mix-ups can lead to costly repairs and significant inconvenience. While Circle K has taken steps to address the issue, the event serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of vigilance and the potential consequences of operational errors in fuel distribution. In a significant development, Circle K stores Incas agreed to pay $8 million to resolve allegations of disability, pregnancy, and retaliation discrimination. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, found that Circle K denied reasonable accommodations to pregnant employees and those with disabilities, subjected them to involuntary unpaid leave, required them to be fully healed before returning to work, or terminated their employment. These actions violated the Americans with Disabilities Act, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, and the Pregnancy Discrimination Act. The settlement covers individuals employed at Circle K between July 10, 2009 and September 26, 2022. As part of the agreement, Circle K committed to updating its policies, appointing a coordinator to oversee accommodation requests, conducting climate surveys and exit interviews, providing anti-discrimination training to all employees, and ensuring that managers' performance evaluations consider compliance with equal employment opportunity laws. This 4-year settlement, reached through the EEOC's conciliation process, aims to bring about real change at Circle K without resorting to litigation. The case underscores the importance of employers providing reasonable accommodations and maintaining flexible leave policies to comply with federal laws. In 2024, Circle K found itself caught up in a serious data breach that did not affect customers directly, but targeted one of its largest U.S. franchisees, Gas Express LLC, which operates dozens of Circle K locations. The breach wasn't just about emails or passwords. It exposed extremely sensitive information, including full names, social security numbers, and driver's license details of employees. What made the situation even worse was how long it took the company to respond. Even though the breach happened in May, affected individuals were not informed until January of the following year, a delay of nearly 7 months. For people whose identities were now vulnerable to fraud and theft, this delay felt careless and risky. A former employee named Brittany Canup filed a class action lawsuit saying that the company failed to protect workers' data and took too long to notify anyone, which meant people lost valuable time to lock down their credit or freeze accounts. According to cybersecurity experts, every day matters after a data breach because criminals often move fast to use stolen identities. The lawsuit also claimed that the company didn't have basic security systems in place to prevent the breach in the first place. As a way to smooth things over, Gas Express offered 2 years of free identity protection services, but for many that felt like too little too late. While Circle K itself wasn't the one directly responsible, customers and employees started asking harder questions about whether the brand as a whole takes data protection seriously. In a time when everything is digital and one data leak can ruin your credit or expose your private life, people expect better. A big name like Circle K is expected to have top-level protection in place, and this incident made it clear that even major convenience store chains have weak spots behind the scenes. Imagine grabbing a drink or snack at your local Circle K, seeing a price marked clearly on the shelf, and then getting charged something totally different at the register. That might sound like a minor mistake, but for a lot of customers, this has become a frustrating pattern. In states like North Carolina, government inspectors actually fined several Circle K stores for consistent pricing errors. They found that what was advertised on the shelves didn't match what was being charged at checkout, and it wasn't just a one-time thing. In some stores, as many as 1 in 5 items scanned higher than their labeled price, which is way above the legal limit. That means if you're not paying attention to your receipt, you could be getting overcharged every time you stop by. For customers who rely on quick shopping trips and tight budgets, even a few dollars can make a big difference. Some people have said they feel tricked or misled, especially when discounts and promotions don't ring up the way they're supposed. 2. It breaks the trust people expect from a brand that's supposed to make life easier, not more stressful. What's worse is that in some cases, staff seemed unaware of the price differences or told customers that the prices hadn't been updated yet. That kind of excuse doesn't sit well when it keeps happening again and again. Regulators say it's a store's job to make sure prices are accurate, not the customer's job to double check everything they buy. The problem might not seem huge at first, but when thousands of customers are being charged wrong prices across dozens of locations, it starts to look more like a system issue than an accident. If Circle K wants to keep its reputation as a trustworthy place to shop, it needs to make sure what you see is actually what you pay. When Circle K announces plans to open a new store, it might sound like good news to some people who want more options nearby. But for many local communities, those announcements have sparked a lot of concern and even protest. In several cities and towns, residents have pushed back hard against new Circle K developments. One example happened in Tallahassee, Florida, where Circle K proposed a new gas station and store in a quiet residential neighborhood. The people living nearby quickly organized to stop it, saying the new store would bring too much traffic, make the area less safe, and hurt the calm atmosphere they had enjoyed for years. They also raised environmental concerns, pointing out that gas stations come with large underground tanks that could leak and possibly pollute the soil and water over time. At a city council meeting, neighbors showed up with signs, petitions, and strong opinions. They said they were not against business growth, but they didn't want it happening right next to their homes or schools. Some residents were also upset because they felt the project was being pushed through too fast, without enough time for the public to understand what was going on. Others said they had seen similar stores go up in other neighborhoods, and it changed everything from more litter to strangers hanging around late at night. While Circle K says it follows all rules and works with cities to meet zoning and safety requirements, many people believe the company puts profits before the needs of local families. These types of fights between big businesses and small communities are becoming more common, and they often come down to one question: who really gets to decide what is best for the neighborhood, the people who live there, or the companies looking to make money? While most people stop at Circle K for snacks or gas without giving it a second thought, the truth is that working behind the counter at one of these stores can sometimes be dangerous, especially during overnight shifts. In multiple cases across the country, Circle K employees have been seriously injured or even killed while on the job. One tragic case involved a night shift worker who was shot during a robbery attempt at a store that had no security guard or protective barriers. This incident, along with others, led many people to question how seriously the company takes worker safety. Some employees have spoken out, saying they feel unsafe working late hours, especially when they are the only person on duty. They say they are told to keep the store open all night, but they are not given proper security tools like panic buttons, security guards, or even locked drop safes. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, has investigated Circle K in the past and found that some stores did not follow basic safety practices, especially when it came to protecting workers from violence. Reports showed that Circle K failed to take action even after repeated robberies at the same locations. Critics say the company focuses more on keeping stores running around the clock than on keeping workers safe. Some labor groups have pushed for better protections, including hiring more staff during late hours or investing in stronger security systems. For a company that runs thousands of stores and brings in billions of dollars, customers and employees alike are beginning to ask why worker safety does not seem to be a top priority. When someone risks their life just by showing up to work, something clearly needs to change. Circle K is known for being a fast stop to grab snacks, fuel up, or get through a long shift if you work there, but not all employees are being paid fairly for the hours they put in. Over the years, Circle K has faced multiple lawsuits and legal complaints from workers who say the company failed to follow basic labor laws. Some employees reported that they were not paid overtime even though they worked more than 40 hours a week. Others said they were made to clock out and keep working off the clock just to finish cleaning or stocking shelves before the next shift came in. These are serious issues because they mean workers are putting in time and effort without getting the pay they legally earned. In some cases, managers were found to be pressuring employees to skip meal breaks or avoid taking rest periods during long shifts. Lawsuits have popped up in several states, and Circle K has paid out large settlements to workers who were affected, but many former employees believe this is just the tip of the iceberg. They claim that wage theft is built into the system and that the pressure to keep labor costs low leads to unfair treatment. Some people who worked at Circle K said they stayed quiet for fear of losing their job, especially if they relied on the income to support their families. Even though the company has promised to do better and follow fair labor practices, the pattern of complaints suggests that the problem might be more widespread than the public knows. For a store that relies on workers to keep things running smoothly every single day, treating them fairly and paying them properly should be the bare minimum. Customers might never see what happens behind the scenes, but the people working those registers and stocking those shelves know the truth. When you pull into a Circle K to fuel up, you expect the gas to be clean, safe, and reliable. But for some customers, that has not always been the case. In recent years, there have been several complaints about fuel quality at Circle K stations, with some drivers saying that bad gas caused serious problems for their vehicles. In one situation in Tallahassee, Florida, multiple people reported engine failure and stalling just minutes after filling up. Mechanics who looked at the vehicles found water in the gas tanks, which should never happen if the fuel system is properly sealed and maintained. In another city, a man said he filled up his car with what he thought was regular gasoline, only to find out it had been mixed with diesel, which can badly damage an engine that is not built for it. These types of mix-ups are often the result of human error during fuel deliveries or poor maintenance of the underground tanks. Customers who experienced these issues faced expensive repair bills and the hassle of being stranded without warning. Some people said they contacted Circle K's customer service for help, but received slow responses or were denied compensation entirely. These incidents are not common at every location, but they happen enough that some drivers now avoid fueling at Circle K altogether. The company says it works with third-party fuel providers and has standards in place to prevent problems, but critics argue that quality checks are not strict enough. For people who rely on their vehicles every day to get to work, school, or take care of their families, the last thing they want is to have their car break down because of contaminated fuel. Fueling up should be simple and safe, and when something goes wrong, customers expect the company to take quick and honest responsibility. When you drive by a gas station, one of the first things you look for is the price of fuel. Most stations have big digital signs out front showing how much you will pay per gallon, and that helps people make quick decisions about where to stop. But at some Circle K locations, customers have complained that fuel prices are not always clearly displayed, especially for things like premium gas or car wash discounts. In some cases, people said the price advertised outside the store was not the same as what they were charged at the pump. One customer shared that they saw a sign for a fuel discount when buying a car wash, but after paying, they realized the discount had not been applied and the final price was much higher than expected. Others have said that some signs are placed in confusing spots, or that important details about pricing are written in small print that is easy to miss. This lack of clarity has led to frustration and a feeling among some customers that Circle K is not being fully honest about how much things cost. Even though the difference might be a few cents per gallon, over time those small amounts add up, especially for people who drive a lot or are trying to save money. Critics believe Circle K should be more transparent and make it easier for customers. to understand exactly what they are paying for. When a company builds its reputation on being convenient and trustworthy, even small pricing tricks can break that trust quickly. Customers should not have to guess or read the fine print just to know what they will be charged. Simple and honest pricing is not just good business, it is what every customer deserves when they pull up to a pump. When Circle K starts building a new store, most people only think about the added convenience of having another place to grab snacks or fill up their tank. But what many customers do not realize is that these stores can also come with a serious environmental cost. Gas stations are more than just a place to pump fuel. They require large underground tanks to store gasoline, and if those tanks are not properly maintained, they can leak into the soil and nearby water sources. Even a small leak over time can cause major damage to local ecosystems and put drinking water at risk. Some environmental groups have raised concerns about how fast Circle K expands, especially into areas that are close to wetlands, parks, or neighborhoods with limited green space. In a few towns, residents have pushed back against construction, saying that cutting down trees or paving over open land to build another gas station does not help the environment or the people who live nearby. There are also concerns about pollution from increased car traffic and the long-term impact of constant fuel deliveries. While Circle K says it follows all local rules and environmental laws, critics argue that just doing the minimum is not enough. They believe that large companies like Circle K have the resources to build stores in more sustainable ways, but often choose cheaper, faster options instead. In today's world where more people care about climate change and protecting nature, businesses are expected to do more than just meet the basic standards. When customers learn about the hidden impact these stores can have, it becomes clear that convenience sometimes comes with a cost that is not shown on the receipt. Now that you know what Circle K has been keeping quiet, the choice is yours. You keep trusting the brand or start asking questions. If this opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and share your experience with Circle K in the comments. We are just getting started.